Hey there, this is attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law P.C. We are a business and trademark law firm that also offers general counsel subscription services to business owners. Now, one question we get from people just starting out is, how do I legally start a business? And the answer to that is really, sometimes it depends where you are. In some areas, there is not really a whole lot you need to do to legally start a business. You can just simply start doing business as yourself. If you're going to use a different name, you probably have a fictitious name registration that needs to be done. And then you have to figure out if you need any type of local business license. Now, is that the best way to start a business? I would tell you no, that's really not the best way to start a business. If you really wanted the best way to start a business, you would do the following. One would be to make a business plan. And it's not really the type of business plan that you have to take to a bank in order to get funding, and you're worried about all these formalities and you need to put an executive summary in it. Not that type of business plan. But I would do a business plan where you can at least write out for yourself what you project your revenue to be over the next 3 years, what you expect your expenses are going to be. And then if you're going to hire employees, you can also load in there how much the employees would cost, what you have to pay them, whether you have to pay any benefits, and really run your numbers to figure out for yourself at 3 months out, 6 months out, a year, is this business profitable? Am I going to be losing money? Am I going to need more cash? And you want to know these things up front really before you start the business. So to me, your first step in starting a business is always make a business plan. Step number 2 then is figure out what formalities do you want to have in your business. So most of the time you do want to set up a legal entity, whether it's an LLC or a corporation. Most people set up LLCs because they may be easier to manage, but you're going to want to start that process with your state to get a legal entity set up to protect yourself from liability. As part of that also, you're going to need to go to the IRS and get an EIN number, which is essentially an employer identification number. It's very much like a social security number for your business. And then when you do business with other people or you have vendors, that's the number you're going to give. And in fact, your bank's going to also ask for that to open a bank account. So you're going to need your EIN, your business entity, and then you will typically need an operating agreement if you are a sole owner. If you have partners, you absolutely need to figure out what type of document you're going to need for yourself and your partner to govern your relationship. And then you may have enough with the state, at least, to have an entity and be ready to do business. Now, there's also a question as to whether you need a business license to operate. Most of the time, at least in Pennsylvania, that is done on the local level. So for example, the city of Philadelphia definitely has a business license requirement. Outside of the city of Philadelphia, you might need to go township by township, which sounds kind of crazy, but that's how it works. So for example, if you're in Montgomery County, there's no county level, county-wide business license. There is, however, a business license requirement for various townships within Montgomery County. So for example, if you're in Lower Merion Township, they definitely have a business license. If you're in Radnor Township, yes, they have a business license. So depending on exactly where you are on that micro local level, you need to check out if they have business license requirements and what those are. And then to legally operate your business and start, you would need to obtain that business license. Now, what else do you need? We always tell people to get insurance and to talk with someone that understands the level of risk that your business is creating in order to figure out what type of business insurance you might need. So that could be errors and omissions policies, which protects you if, for example, you're a consultant and someone sues you over bad consulting advice. If you are going out, like let's say you have your wedding photographer and on the weekends you are going to weddings with a bunch of equipment that you're setting up in public, you want to think about a general liability policy. So if anyone at the wedding, trips and falls of one of your cords or pieces of equipment, cracks their head open and sues you, general liability is the type of policy that would pick up that claim. If you employ people to work for you, there are various types of coverage you can get to cover you if there's, for example, employment discrimination claims. Obviously, you need to have workers' compensation to protect your employees if they get hurt on the job. So all types of different insurance is definitely something else you want to consider when starting up. After that, if you are the type of business that's going to need written contracts, either with your vendors or your clients or customers, you definitely want to make sure you have good written contracts that are tailored to your business and to how you want those relationships to run. Don't just take internet templates from online that may not have terms you really want in it. It may have the law or jurisdiction in some place nowhere near you. So if you're not savvy and you're not reading the contracts and seeing what they say, It's really tough to use that for yourself as a good template. And finally, think about whether you need to trademark or what other IP protections your brand might need. For example, do you want to protect your brand name? Do you have a logo you want to protect? Do you have a slogan? In that case, you might consider doing a trademark search and maybe a trademark registration to protect those things in your business. So in a nutshell, those would be the top things to think about when starting a business. Of course, if you need our help, you can feel free to reach out to our office. We offer a bunch of different ways that we can help you get all these things done very quickly. Our number is 215-482-0285. Thanks.